All right. Lesson 8 of Unit 3. Today we're going to continue the app designing project that you started earlier in the unit. So, as a warm up, I wanted you to just think about the partner that you chose for this project and think about what makes a good partner. So, some things that you might think about are someone who listens, someone who contributes, and in general, a good partnership means that both people are sharing the work evenly. So, as you go through the next couple of days, make sure you are being a good partner. And for choosing a partner for the next project in the next unit, make sure that you make a good choice. So this is part 3 of our designing an app project. We do have 2 more parts, so it's going to take us a little bit more time to finish this. Don't get in a hurry, but also make sure that you're moving along quickly. So what you need for today is your app development planning guide that we started earlier in the unit. You may have that in paper form or you may have it on the computer. Just make sure that you have access to it. And we are going to move to page 4, step 5. And that step is where you're going to start building your app. So we're writing down some things. We're going to fill out this chart to kind of just pre-plan what kinds of on events are we going to need for our app. So based on your design that you had in the previous step, hopefully you had some arrows that go from this button takes you to this screen or whatever. And those are where your on event handlers are going to come into play once we move into adding code. So here's an example. You've got a dog button that when it's clicked, a picture of a dog appears, the background of the screen changes to green. So that's the kind of information that you're going to write on this chart. Just make sure that you include every single button that you have in your design, what action needs to be taken to that button, and what's going to happen when the button is clicked. Next, I want you to go to Bubble 2 on code.org and watch this short video about pair programming. Go ahead and do that and come back here. Now, in theory, pair programming is a great idea. It's a way to let both partners in the partnership get experience coding, but also get to step back occasionally and really look at the program overall from kind of a big picture point of view. You might think that you're better at one of those roles than the other, but it's good for you to get experience with both roles. And the benefit to having a partner is that you don't have to go through any of it alone. You have someone else kind of to bounce ideas off of and to help you debug. However, pair programming doesn't really work in a social distance classroom. So, what we are going to do instead, if when you're in class, is to get on a Zoom call with your partner, and one of you will share your screen and be the driver, the person who is actually typing in the code, and the other person will be the navigator. It's kind of hard to be working on the same program at the same time and also to really switch roles in that way. So just ignore that for now, but I want you to understand the concept of pair programming. And so after you're done with your app development planning guide on step 5, you're going to go ahead and move to Code Studio, Bubble 3, and start actually adding some code to your app. So this is where it gets exciting. I would suggest that you break up the tasks equally among the two of you in your partnership. So if you have 4 total screens, each of you is responsible for adding the code for 2 of those screens, and then you can simply share your code with the other person so that both of you can have a fully functioning app, or one of you at least can have a fully functioning app at the end of it, but both of you get the chance to do some code. So one thing you'll notice on this one, I'm not sure if you've seen this before, is where it says this is part of a larger project. Changes will be saved across the levels. So this is a little scary at this point. You are starting with basically a blank screen. Don't be scared though. Just start adding one little thing that you know needs to be there. You know you need an on event for whatever, your home button, and you know exactly what is supposed to happen during that. So play around with it, get comfortable working in the workspace, working with the toolbox, dragging over the code blocks. And there are some guidelines up here. Just it says add the on events that you said in step 5 on your planning guide that you needed, and figure out a way to do that to make it using code. So after you've had a chance to complete that part of the code for today, let's just take a moment to think about how pair programming can help when working on a project. How does it help with the debugging process in particular? So hopefully you can think about the fact that talking through your code with another person sometimes can help you solve it yourself or figure out what to do. When you get stuck, there's someone to help you brainstorm solutions. Just there's more than one set of eyes to find bugs, and different partners bring different perspectives to a project. So one person may have a more creative way of looking at something, someone else may be better at kind of thinking more structurally. And those are all reasons why it's great to work with a partner in pair programming. And pair programming, just to give you a definition, is a collaborative programming style in which two programmers switch between the roles of writing code and tracking or planning high level progress.